Hey everybody, another fabulous edition of Bird Brain 66 coming at you with my good buddy on my left or my right, Brian Bretsch. What's up, Brian?
I'm good from this side, and I'm good from this side. What's happening?
Well, we're going to look at another 2024 set. Pretty cool set that we didn't think would make an appearance this year, but it did. Oh, I'm sorry, scratch that. It's actually the 2023 set.
2023. Yeah, that's
Just
all right.
kidding. For whatever reason, we can't get caught up on this set. But anyway, it's the 2023 Topps Chrome Platinum. There's Biscuits, everybody. Gonna throw him out
Nice.
there. 500 in the set, 26 in the Cardinal set if you want to count the two photo variations. But we normally don't count those. And so actually 24 cards in the Cardinals team set. So as you can see, really cool action shot with a portrait on there as well, autograph, Cardinal logo, and a cool backside. So getting all kinds of goodies out of this particular set. And thankfully, Topps actually did this set again. One more look at,
Third year in a row, right?
yeah, third year in a row. It was just a year behind for whatever. I don't understand that whole year issue, but whatever. I'm just happy to see it. What are your initial thoughts on this set?
It came out, so I absolutely love it. I love the design. I love the players in it. 105 Hall of Famers overall edition of Al in the future. So I like it. I like the selection over the last 3 years, how they're adding some of the Hall of Famers. A couple of years ago, we had Simba. This one, Hall of Famer Johnny Mize. Sorry about the glare. This
All
one
right.
you and I talked about is our absolute favorite out of this 2023 Chrome Platinum anniversary set. Love this big cat photo. Love the design. So we complain a lot about players and who's included and who's not, but on this particular one, I love it.
Jimmy Ballgame, Cardinal broadcaster, outstanding center fielder for the Cardinals. Should be in the Hall of Fame, but hopefully someday, maybe some way that can actually happen. But we will wait and see.
Yeah, down shame that he was only on the ballot 1 year and doesn't even get enough votes to stick around for year two. I don't know. That's about it was his showmanship in the outfield, but dude could flat out cover the outfield, make some outstanding plays, and oh, by the way, he could rake at the plate as well. So
Oh yeah.
don't understand it. Old Diz here, great shot of him. Love this particular card. Love the older bird on the bat logo back,
Yeah.
and again, love this 1950 styles on the back of the card as well.
Another Hall of Famer. And I'll follow it up with one more Hall of Famer. There you go, Scott Rowland, everybody.
Longtime Cardinal fan. I was really kind of 50-50 on what he would select when in Cooperstown as his cap. A lot of people thought that he would probably just wear a cap and not have any team representation on it. So it was really cool to see him select the Cardinal, the STL, for his cap. So makes that even more fun for Cardinal collectors to see that Scott is represented as a Cardinal in the Hall of Fame on his plaque. Who do you have next?
Oh, one of your all-time favorites. Ton, there he is.
He
It's
is one
quite
of my
the
all-time favorites.
it's quite the look on his face in the photo. So I thought that was very interesting. It's, it
Yeah, I hope he's.
should be a photo of him on the disabled list. Or I'm sorry, the IL. But
I love that. Way to go there. No, I was just going to say he just does not have the build to be a professional ball player. I'm hoping that many others who have watched his career realize that his physique, although he looks wonderful and he does hit monstrous home runs, his body, I just do not think is prepared for the torque of playing 150 games. I mean, not even 162. I'd be happy when he was with the Cardinals if he could ever make 150. Now he's with the Red Sox, and what has he been on the DL? What, twice now, or has it been three times?
something like that, something ridiculous.
Another one of our
No,
current favorite
that's what
players.
I just had that one in my hand.
Can never stop talking about his hustle, his playing style. Quick and favorite, our favorite, one of our current favorite players. Just love the way he plays the game. Small ball, can move
Yeah.
around.
Without him, I don't know where they would be right now in this 2024 season.
That's a good question. Good
I mean, if
question.
you looked at and he looked, he obviously struggled early on, but boy, I mean, he's really picked it up, ever since, he had those early on struggles. So, and leading the team in RBI, that's saying something.
Yep. Got to go with another Hall of Famer, although we've seen this particular photo of Raja before, but anytime you can get a Hornsby card, love it. Love the red color on the uniform again. I love the design, how at least they keep going back and using the logo of that player's era, which I think we knock them again for some of the shortcuts they take, but for some reason they're getting it right for at least the first 3 years with the Chrome set.
There's Goldie. He's had a little bit of an uptick lately. Still not where we expect him to be, but hopefully he'll finish out strong, and which is probably his last year with the team. So hate to see him struggle the way he is, but sometimes time is not on your side. So it's uh it's just
Question.
one of those years.
Okay, question for you. I'm going to have you put your GM hat on for a second. So if he gets hot after the All-Star game and he puts
The answer is
together
no.
some,
The answer is already no.
okay, just what I want to know. Do you give him a 1 year or a 2 year deal?
Nope. Nope.
I agree with you.
There's a
Hopefully
future
a
Hall of
future Hall of
Famer,
Famer here. Yeah, just no denying it. I mean,
a young Yachty there.
yep, I love it. But so right now I've been reading somewhere where Buster Posey's getting a little bit more love than Yadier Molina, and I just maybe Buster had a few more hits or RBIs or something along those lines. I know that Buster's got the 3 rings compared to Yachty's 2, but in terms of shutting down a game and putting the fear of God in people and just not stealing, or we've seen that great video of guys tempting him in spring training and he's daring them to run and he still guns them down. I mean, he changed the way the game is played behind the plate in terms of just being the it factor, picking off guys at first, picking off guys at third, throwing guys out at second. And for whatever reason, which was a good reason for a Cardinal fan, he managed to really come through with some great clutch hits in the postseason for the Cardinals. So I hope that Major League or the writers and whoever voting for the Hall of Fame get it right. And Yachty may not be a first time Hall of Famer, I mean, a first year, first ballot Hall of Famer, but I could see him going in 2 or 3 years later.
That's what Stan says.
Stan!
There he is, the man right there, ladies and gentlemen. The Cardinal of Cardinals. Nice photo of
It's
Stan. Of course, we've seen that action shot many, many times before.
I love the STL logo on there. That's one of them where they did it a little bit different, that they didn't go back, old school in the 40s or whatever to use that logo, but I like that STL.
Yeah, glad they mixed them up on each of the cards here. It's pretty cool. There's another future Hall of Famer right there.
Yeah, that's the one I grabbed next. The young Albert team, like a photo from like 03, 04 is what I'm guessing.
That's what it's looking like. I mean, that's a very young Albert, which is cool. I'm glad they kind of mixed. I'm kind of glad they mixed that all up this time around.
Who do you have next? I got a couple of guys, but I'll let you go first.
The
Nice.
franchise, there he is, right there. Love that because that's right around the time that he joined the Cardinals, probably.
Hmm.
Not the one in the bottom, obviously. That's from the 70s.
Right.
The portrait is actually, from the 60s. So very cool. I'm glad they got a different photo of him for a change.
Yeah, that looks about 1965-ish to me.
Yep. So good job for on tops for that particular shot there. The Wizard, of course.
Love that one. Another Hall of Famer.
Yeah, at least they did a good job with that because there's Hoot.
Can never have enough Hoot or Brock cards in your collection, in my opinion. Always got to have, never have enough of them.
But with Topps, you can get a lot of Ozzy cards too, and now Pujols cards.
Yeah. And hopefully they continue to give this guy a love because remember, if you follow us, you know that there's been years in the 16, 17, 18-year range where we've looked at set reviews and Wayno's just completely forgotten about, have never quite figured that out. So
Yep.
when he appears in the Chrome Platinum, Andy and I actually kind of jump around and are excited.
Another current star of the team, Contreras, just coming back from the arm fracture. So hopefully he'll finish out with a great season this year and keep propelling them towards the playoffs if possible.
Hope he gets his swing and everything comes back
Yeah,
and
it's
has a fan.
either that or we're going to put him on a milk carton like Tommy Edman because we don't know what happened to him. Trying to see, is there anybody else we really want to feature here? I mean, there's several other players from the current roster on here. Guess,
Hoping Nolan comes back a little bit. So
yeah, a lot of struggles going on here. Matter of fact, I'll put this guy up because I saw him just a little while back down in Norfolk, and he was getting lit up by the Norfolk Tide. So didn't look good. So, but he managed to somehow make an appearance in here, just like Tyler O'Neill. So, but they sometimes you question what is what's the purpose of that Chrome Platinum anniversary? Obviously, got a good mix of rookie cards. Not necessarily the rookies you want to see, but
right.
we've got some good veterans and some good Hall of Famers in here.
Well, at least there's no Irving Lopez. I played in 5 games,
Series two, yeah.
series two, which is absolutely crazy. So we've talked about, the guys that we wish that we were in there. Matthew Libator is one of those that we didn't show. We didn't show Nolan Gorman, hoping both of those guys bounce back a little bit. I know Libator had a pretty good outing here recently, so you got to keep up the hope for him, but always
Herrera,
good.
Herrera on the IL, so we didn't feature him. I mean, we'll hopefully he will be featurable down the road. Might as well go ahead and throw
All
this
right, I'm going to let
there.
you.
We'll go ahead and one more. There we go. DC, there he is. Unfortunately, nothing but regression from 2020 on. So it's just unfortunate. Thought this guy was going to be, something, but just hasn't, you know, happened for him, unfortunately. And then always rooted for him to hope that he would turn the corner, but a lot of people, for whatever reason, wanted to keep hanging on to him. But maybe the best thing for him is to move on and find a new home. So,
Yep, totally agree with that. All right, I'm gonna kind of throw you for a loop here for a second. So we're looking at creating the Topps 2024 Chrome Platinum. It does not have to be a Hall of Famer. What three Cardinals off the top of your head, Chrome Platinum comes back in 2024? Who would you like to see? I know that's a big number of people that you could have. But just right now, we're always talking about, having such
well, I mean, one immediately jumps in
such
my head, and
and such.
one immediately jumps in my head is Willie McGee, and because he was such an integral part to that championship team in '82 and throughout the '80s, and so with his coaching career with the Cardinals as well. So Willie, and he, obviously one of our all-time favorite Cardinal players. So he's one
Absolutely.
one I could think of, and I would like to see. Well, they probably won't do it, but I'd like to see managers included in this set, but who knows? They probably won't do that. So I guess I won't even name any managers since they won't do that. But how about Jim Bottomley? I'd like to see him featured in here because I think that would be kind of cool because I mean, their Thompson does a good job with, when they go back, it's always Hornsby and Dizzy. So I'd like to see maybe Bottomley featured, Joe Medwick, a couple other Jimmy Wilson. There's a couple other guys I'd like to, have them take a look at. Specs. I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys that you could throw in there. Whitey Kurowski. How about Whitey Kurowski? Because
Oh
I
yeah.
think I think more people need to know about this guy because he was phenomenal. He played on number of World Series teams for the Cardinals, and if you don't know who he is, look him up because credible career considering the issues he had with his arm, from the time he was a kid. So that's another guy I could think of. And I don't know. I mean, there's so many that come to mind, but I say Kurowski, Willie McGee. Did I name two or did I name three? What did I tell you?
That was, I mean, that that was too because you didn't your second choice was the managers and you didn't. So you said Krauski, McGee, and then Lee and a couple of others. So my quick off the top of my head would be Forsh. We recently had a Simba card in there, so I'd love to see Bob get a little bit more love because he's a Cardinal Hall of Famer. Definitely agree with Willie McGee, and yeah, I would like to go back in time and either have like a Marty Marion or a Ducky Med Frisch, somebody,
Tucker
from
Martin, those are
those
yeah, any of those guys really. Yeah,
guys,
I mean,
bunches of Grover Cleveland, Alexander. I mean, there's some of those guys, a cup of coffee, Burley Grimes. I mean, there's guys at the ends of their careers, and you know, I mean, Grover Alexander at 39, winning two World Series games, and then saving, Game Seven. Was it the 26th World Series?
yeah.
Who I think should get
I'll throw
a
I'll throw
lot
I'll
more
throw one more
love.
out there. I'll throw one more out there. How about Ray Langford? Just because
Oh God, yeah,
great career with the Cardinals, fan favorite, good, really good dude, and I'd like to see I like to see him featured somewhere along the line too. I know I
absolutely.
didn't pick.
Joe Torre,
Yeah,
as a player, not as a manager, but I
yep.
mean, dude was the NL MVP in 19, so had a great career. Bob Uecker, we've talked about that. I would give anything to see Bob Uecker with the big tuba. So, but
Maybe the
well, now I'm going down a rabbit hole.
archives said maybe I
There you
guess.
go.
Well,
So
wrap
yeah,
it
so
up for
you
us,
you had
Brian.
you had more than what's that?
I guess you can wrap it up for us for this edition of Bird Brains.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you everybody for joining us. We're seeing definitely a uptick over the last month in our on our X account. So thank you for that. Have now more than followers. This YouTube page continues to do really, really well for us. So thank you for watching. Continue to watch. Subscribe to this. That's very helpful to us. And then you can find us on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook, BirdBrain66, and always looking to add to it. And if you ever have any comments, I think we do a pretty good job of responding to them. So
Hit us up
please
on
keep
X
those.
with any suggestions or card sets, also our cards or whatever. We're happy to talk about them or look back at other teams. And there's some of my, and I'll have to say some of my favorite teams are not necessarily World Series teams. That
Right.
there's a lot of teams out there that
Absolutely.
we've had over the years that were not necessarily, you know, World Championship teams. And we always go back to maybe 2004 or, you know, um, 85, 87. But one I
Yep,
really like,
68.
one I'm going to just throw out there just because they got screwed because of the strike was the 81 team
Yep.
because they should have actually made the playoffs and who knows what could have happened. But, but unfortunately that was not to be, but that's a team I really like too.
Let's do that. Let's find one from 81. There are some great players leading up to that World Series team in 82, and there's a couple of people that got moved.
Yeah,
to,
that's why I
to
thought
put the
that's why I
team
think it's so
together.
interesting about it is they actually had a really good
Yeah,
team, and then Whitey made a bunch of moves, and they still wound up, going to having a very successful 82 season and going to the series. So yeah, we can take a look at that. Find us the 81 set.
very good. All righty, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. We'll be back soon. And again, just thank you very much, Andy. Awesome show as always.
Thanks, appreciate it. Everybody tune in, subscribe, do all that cool stuff, and hit us up on the X. Later.